RT World's editor-at-large, Ahmed Al-Barai, who joins me now live in the studio. Let's just talk first about some of the latest information we're getting. It's just a few hours ago you said you didn't sound worried. Let me say that. You said the regime really doesn't have enough military resources at this point to effectively fight the FSA, the Turkish-backed FSA, even if it does cooperate with YPG forces. Now we're hearing that regime forces are hours away from actually re-entering Afrin, where they haven't been since 2012. Has your opinion changed?
Actually, no, it didn't. So far, what we are receiving from SANA, state news agency, that the regime agreed on deploying a kind of force on the ground. It's the Syrian version of the popular mobilization forces in Iraq, Al-Hashd al-Shabi, that is the Shiite militia. This one is going to be the Syrian version. Is the regime still capable of doing this, of creating these kind of militias on the ground? Turkey and other observers on the region do have genuine doubts that he is capable of, because of his inability to at least defeat the Ghouta fighters. They do have a battle for more than 2 years now, besieging 400,000 people in Ghouta, and so far they didn't succeed. So they're making use of other proxies like Hezbollah of Lebanon, like other Shia groups from Iran and Afghanistan. Now the problem is, he able to do this? Turkey is worried about the changing of skins of these kind of YPG or Daesh groups, and trying to change just the uniform and be rebranded, taking different name, but still they're on the ground. That wouldn't be a feasible solution to the ongoing problem. On the other hand, Turkey is suggesting for the United States that, look, I'm not there for the sake of fighting. If you want, we can have a joint deployment of Turkey and the United States in Manbij. The Iran and Turkey Russia are on the same page with Turkey when it comes to Afrin. It's a matter of national security. So these kind of things, if the Syrian regime agrees on this, the FSA would have a problem with Turkey, because they will tell Turkey, look, we've been fighting along each other, and now the regime is going to come back. The regime had committed serious crimes against his own people. That would make a major problem for Turkey and the FSA as well.
Okay. It is getting confusing now, the landscape here, because we're looking at the YPG allying itself with, as far as their conversations are concerned thus far, that we're hearing about, allying itself with Assad's forces. They're not friends, but they would apparently fight in this common interest. And then you have another clash, it sounds like, developing with what you say are the Syrian version of the popular mobilization units, backed by Iran. Are we looking at a potential clash between Turkish and Iranian forces on the ground in Syria then as well?
So far, Iran is on the same page with Turkey.
Right.
They do understand the concerns of Turkey when it comes to the YPG, though they prefer a different scenario for more peaceful things. But the United States is not giving room for this. The United States 2019 budget allocated $550 million for its scheme to develop, train, and form this border forces. That is the measure that unilaterally asked Turkey to move with the operation on the ground. Turkey didn't want to start with this operation if its NATO ally in Washington did consider its concerns when it comes to its national security problems. Iran and Russia are on the same page. Now, the problem is when it comes to Manbij, the United States support or the idea of withdrawing these troops to the east of the Euphrates River. That would diffuse the tension between the two allies. But when it comes to the real measures on the ground, the United States is not doing this. The new presidential special envoy, John Hanna, who is going to be to Syria, is against Turkey all the time. He used to be the national security advisor of former Vice President Dick Cheney, and he's renowned of his stances against Turkey. Still, the spokesman or the special envoy against the coalition to fight Daesh is also against Turkey. So the military establishment is not on the same page with the foreign state.
Okay, Ahmed, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much again for your analysis.